Hello there, because we make it a point of duty on Culture Space to bring to you interesting peoples and cultures on the African continent. Today on Africa in a Bit, we take you to Inisha, an ancient town in Osun State. Stay with us. Inisha is an ancient town located in the Osun local government area of Osun State, situated on the road from Ikirun to Offa and Ilorin. A journey to Inisha from Lagos takes about 4 hours, covering a distance of about 280 kilometers. Inisha town boasts of a very warm, hospitable and highly enterprising people. However, not very much is written about this town, but we find it fun to let you know that Inisha is a home of several historical landmarks and happenings. Because of Inisha's proximity to Ilorin and the former Ibadan Empire, Inisha was a meeting point for two ancient rival cities, Ilorin and the former Ibadan Empire. However, a trip to Inisha would be incomplete without a visit to the king, the Olunisha of Inisha, His Royal Majesty Oba Joseph Oludunjoye Oyedele, who gives us an extensive insight on history, peoples, and culture of the Inisha.
Inisha is fairly big and an ancient settlement. The town was founded very many years ago. I cannot give the exact time it was founded. It was founded by a prince known as Oku. He was a powerful warrior, a hunter, and a prince from Osun. Osun is an ancient settlement, but the settlement is no longer in existence. It was the original settlement of our people. Later, the Offa people moved en masse from Osun to settle at the present Offa town. So that's where our founder came from, Osun. It's about 2 or 3 kilometers from the present Offa town. He left Osun for some problems, particularly domestic problems. First, he contested for the post of Olofa for Osun, and he lost. One of the probable reasons why he lost the throne was that at that very time he was childless. So he had to move away from Osun. In fact, he consulted Ifa Oreku, and the Ifa divination instructed him to move away from Osun if he would have children in his life. And he was promised if he could move away. It was just like the call of Abraham in the Bible, that he was called away to move from his people. He moved from Osun and came here to settle. And before he left, the Ifa Oreku told him he would have 2 male children. So when he came here, the Ifa prediction came to fulfillment. He had 2 male children. The first one was Olugoke. The second one was Oladimeji. So that's how Inisha was founded.
The Osun River also played a significant role in the defeat of Ilorin by the former Ibadan Empire, the war between these two rival cities, popularly called the Jalumi War.
There were very powerful warriors in Inisha in the ancient time, up till the end of 20th century. Inisha was contributed much to the success of Ibadan warriors in their fight with the Ilorin Hausa people. Not necessarily the Fulani, they are a mixture of Fulani and Hausa people at Ilorin. Now, they came to Ilorin, conquered Ilorin. Ilorin was a Yoruba town. By that conquest, Ilorin became partly Yoruba, partly Hausa or Fulani. And when they were able to settle at Ilorin, they intended to extend their territory, their empire to this area. That's how Ibadan came in. And Ibadan was a powerful empire also. And with the assistance of Inisha warriors, they were able to overcome the Ilorin people. When I mean Ilorin, you will be correct, I mean the Hausa Fulani people at Ilorin. The contribution of Inisha is in many ways. Physical contribution by the soldiers and by the Oti worshippers. The Inisha people knew very well the terrain of this area. The paths unknown to the Ilorin people, they knew it, and they were able to lead the Ibadan people to strategic places in this area. Now, when Ilorin came, Ibadan also came, led by Ajayi Ogbori Efan. This was about 1887. And so the attack was so serious on Ilorin warriors. They could not stand before Ibadan people. They began to run away. Their camp became scattered. Like the book of Chinachebe, the center camp would not hold again. So they began to run away. And they crossed the river Oti to the side of the war front. By the time they were crossing to the front, the water level was very low. But the worshippers of Oti knew the taboos of Oti River, things that cannot be offered to the river, that it should not take. This involved the meat of dog, the meat of pig, the guinea corn, and then one leaf we call ofo, ewe ofo. So all these things were presented to a goddess, and the river devil became swollen up, and the river was overflew its bank. So unknown to Ilorin people, when they were running away, the river they crossed before, which was very low, they didn't know that it has become very full to the brim. So they were rushing to the river. They prefer to rush to the river than to wait for the Ibadan people to kill them. So many of them perished in the stream. That's why they refer to the battle or war as Jalumi War, jumping to the water.
Inisha people believe in gods and goddesses like every other Yoruba town, but the worship of a particular deity is more prominent. The worship of a goddess of the Osun River, otherwise called Odo Otin. We further asked the king to tell us what prompted the beginning of the worship of this sacred river.
Odo in Yoruba means river. So Odo Otin River. That's the proper interpretation of it. It was one of the deities worshipped in Inisha. It became important for one reason or the other. Originally, it was not seriously connected with the founding of Inisha. Obatala was the principal god which was connected with the founding of Inisha. Then Ogun, but later it came to become an important god or goddess worshipped at Inisha. At the time, the people were in some problem, and the Oba himself had a very a wife which he loved very much, and the woman was barren. So he consulted Ifa for the problem of the town and for his own personal problem. And Ifa predicted that all the problems will be solved and that his wife will become fruitful. The divination came to fulfillment. All the problems of the town were off, and his wife became pregnant and gave birth to a male child. It was the promise of the Oba that if all these things came to fulfillment, he will make Oti River deity to become one of the important gods to be worshipped at Inisha. That's how the goddess became very important at Inisha.
In 1896, the first cannon bomb in Nigeria was planted here in Inisha, the metal becoming a historical monument till today as a cenotaph in memory of Captain Bauer. This cannon was in connection between the war between Inisha and Ilorin. It was used to fire shots from Inisha down to the arrival town in Ilorin by Captain Bauer. And when Ilorin couldn't go further, they stopped the war with the Inisha. Before modern-day road expansion and technological advancement, Inisha used to be the only safest route to travel down to the northern part of Nigeria. With a population of about 40,000 people inhabiting Inisha, the people are skilled craftsmen, traders, hunters and farmers who boast of a well-represented membership all over Nigeria.